Hi, welcome back. I miss you guys so much. I hope you're excited for this tutorial. I'm going to be sharing my secrets of my everyday makeup tutorial. This is basically my everyday routine. I do this every single day, especially for work. I hope you guys have a great and amazing day. I'm going to start with the primer. This is by e.l.f. and this is the matte purifying primer. I love this thing, especially in the summertime. I tend to get really oily, so this is the best primer I have been able to find for my combination skin. While that sets on my face, I'm gonna be moving on with the eyebrows, and this is the She Glam. I love this pomade. It's super creamy and easy to work with. I just like to underline the eyebrow first, and then I like to move the product around my eyebrow with this pulley, like so. And then here, my love, you're gonna notice the difference that the underlining does to the eyebrow. My eyebrows are pretty full, so I don't need a lot of product. Anyways, let's move on with the foundation. For today's foundation, I'm using the Pro Matte foundation. This is by L'Oreal, and I'm just gonna be applying it with my sponge. And this is how I apply my foundation literally every single day. It's not sanitary at all, so I do not recommend this, but this is how I apply it. And then I'm just going to be blending it with my sponge all over my skin. After the foundation is nice and blended, I'm going to move on with the concealer. And I'm using the e.l.f. Camel Concealer, and I'm just going to be applying it on my dark circles underneath my eyes. And I'm just going to be blending it with the same sponge that I use for foundation. Once everything is nice and blended, I'm going to set my whole face with the pressed powder. This pressed powder is by Color Mates, and I did find this at Dollar Tree. I'm almost done with it. Like you can notice, I love this powder. So I'm taking a fluffy brush and I'm going to set underneath my eyes first, just so they don't crease. And then around my nose, around my mouth, everything in all the small areas on my face, I'm gonna be setting with this brush. And then I'm gonna take a bigger brush to set the rest of my face. Once I'm done setting my whole face, it's time to add a little bit of contour and blush, and I'm taking this palette right here. It's by Cover FX. I did get this palette on a BoxyCharm and I'm obsessed with it. So I'm going to be using the contouring shade and the blush on this palette. I do want to mention really quick that this palette is super pigmented, so you only need a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. So I'm just going to be applying it little by little. You can build it up really fast, like you can notice here. So you just want to blend it carefully. Make sure you take your time and blend it. I'm also adding whatever is left on the brush to contour my nose and underneath my lips, just to make them look a little bit bigger. And then with this beautiful brush right here, I'm going to be using the blush. The blush is also really pigmented, so be careful. Just add a little bit. It's better to go little by little than to ruin your whole makeup by adding too much. But you can always fix it. So I'm taking the same brush that I used to set my whole face, and I'm just gonna clean the underneath of my contour and blush. Also taking whatever's left on the brush, I'm gonna be blending the blush and everything into my skin. And then I'm going to be setting it with this facial mist. I did find this at Dollar Tree. I recommend it 100%. I always use it before and after. And I'm just going to use this fan also from Dollar Tree, just to dry my whole makeup. And that way my makeup can stay on all day long. Since I'm getting ready to go to work, I want my makeup to stay in place all day long. So I'm also taking my Morphe setting spray and taking my beauty sponge. I'm just gonna blend it carefully into my skin. This step is a must when you want your makeup to last for a long hours. It's just gonna make your face look super natural. It's not gonna look cakey. I just love this step. I recommend it every single day. I basically do this when I have time, but it's a step that you can't skip. Time for lips. I'm taking this lip liner right here. And what I've been doing lately is kind of biting my lip, like you can notice right here. And then just underlining my natural shape. I'm just following my natural shape. And for some reason, this is going to make your lips look fuller. I did set this tip on TikTok, and it actually works. I was really amazed with this, so I've been doing it lately and I like it a lot. Once my lips are completely underlined, I'm gonna be taking my Wet n Wild lipstick, and I'm just gonna be applying this lipstick all over my lips. I love the shade right here. Hope this tip help you guys to get some fuller and chummy lips. Now it's time for eyeshadow, and I'm taking this Nude Mood palette. Let's take a minute to notice how beautiful this is. I'm taking a beautiful fluffy brush. I'm gonna be adding this shade right here. This is just like a soft brown color, so I'm just gonna be adding it on my crease, and like you can barely see it, I decided to add a dark shade. So I'm just gonna be taking this shade right here with the same brush just to build up the color. I just wanted to have a little bit of pop of color on my crease, so blending it back and forth, being really careful since I do have eyelash extensions. Once everything is nice and blended, it's time to add a pop of color on the center of my lid, and I'm taking this beautiful shimmering shade right here. It's a stunning shade. It's really pigmented, so I do have to be a little bit careful because it's so pigmented and it does fall on my lashes, but it's okay, we'll clean them later. But this is what the shade looks like. I'm obsessed with this palette so far. Now I'm just gonna blend everything together with the same brush that I started with. I am gonna add a little bit more of the same color I added on the crease, just to blend everything together, to blend both of the shades together basically. And now it's time to move on. I am going to be combing my lashes since I do have eyelash extensions. I just need to comb them just so all that fallout gets out of my lashes. And once I'm done with that, I'm taking the same glitter shade and I'm going to add it on my tear dot. Now here I'm taking a smaller brush and I'm going to be using this brush to add the same shade from the crease to my waterline, or to my bottom eyelash line, just to make everything nice and blended and connected to the top eyeshadow. Now taking this little mascara, I'm just going to be adding it on my bottom lashes. That's what I do for my lashes. And this is how my eyeshadow turned out using this palette. It is the first time I use this palette. I do recommend it. But here, my loves, is the end result of today's makeup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy and I can't wait to see you on my next one. Make sure you subscribe and give it a thumbs up and turn on the bell notification.